Hi there, Sab here. I'm sure I've forgotten something. This is me? No, it's not. This is me. And this is the Creative Blog and Article Writing Show. What is the Creative Blog and Article Writing Show? The Creative Blog and Article Writing Show is a show about writing creative blogs and articles. You can see it's high-level stuff here. Now, the thing is, I started this show and this Facebook group called, would you believe it? Creative Blog and Article Writing, something like that, thinking it was just about, I won't say it again, those things. Then I realized I was feeling hemmed in. You know, what about poetry? What about short stories? What about memes even, original memes? And then I realized if you've got a blog, you can put all that stuff on there. So I'm cool. It's about any of that stuff. The only thing it's not about is long writing, you know, novels and boring articles and, you know, dissertations. No, but it's about really cool creative articles and anything you would put on a blog and making it as short and snappy and powerful and brilliant as possible. So we're going to trog through a whole load of words today and every Thursday. And it's all linked to, I just wanted to show you this actually, show you the sort of thing people send me. I'm going to play it. It's a video, you see. It's a live video of a rainbow. Can you see that? It's a rainbow happening in real time. I mean, as the person was taking the thing. How cool is that? And there it goes, and there it goes again, and there it goes again. So people send me videos of rainbows. What can this mean? You know, I'm trying to kind of work out why someone would do that. I must admit, most of my websites have the words either infinity, rainbow, or creativity in them. So maybe that's something to do with it. What do people send you videos of when that they think you'll like? And why rainbows? What's the deal with rainbows? You know, it's just bunches of colors, isn't it? And people, sensible, normal people don't spot rainbows in the sky. Sometimes they might, or even in reflections of, you know, spraying the garden, and all of a sudden there's a rainbow in the water, and someone might send me a picture of that. Why? What is it about that? Should a grown man of nearly 55 be inciting rainbow videos? I don't know, actually. I don't know. What's your take on that? Say hello if you're watching. Hello, say hello in the chat, or in the chat, or in the chat, or in the chat, depending on what's going on. Yeah, say hello. And if you've got some words that you would like me to read out and talk about, please send them to me. You can send me the words in a message if it's not too long, or you can send me a link to your words somewhere. My place for your words is a place called, of course, it's the only thing I haven't got open. Well, let me sort this out. It's a place called, I told you this, God, weren't you listening? The Creative Blog and Article Writing Group. And I give you a prompt every day, and I would like you to give me your words. Okay, that's the deal. I'm going to show you another blog somewhere where people have been contributing. Did you hear that? Come here. Come here. Come here. That noise was probably this person who rushed through after having done it. So what did you break? What did you break? Hey, hang on, they can see you. Kitten's always a big draw. Hang on. No, don't go anywhere. You're the star. So there was a huge crash just now, and then this little character came running through. And I think the two might be linked. What did you knock down, eh? What did you knock down? Well, there you go. My eyes are supposed to shine when I hold the cat, so there we go. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, you're so cute. What the hell did you break? Oh, I just got a new viewer when I started showing you the kitten. That's good. All right, so this is where I'd like you to send me stuff in this group, okay? Creative Blog and Article Group. In another group, Iskra's group, called something like Creative Changemakers, Despina, another of my friends, online friends, is doing a challenge for the week where you write a poem or some sort of text based on the letters of the days of the week. And I am kind of getting into it, actually. I'll try and show you something. I have to share my screen here. So I'm going to share my efforts for the last 4 days because I am getting into it. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. It's very small and it's on a horrible little text thing. So I can't even make it bigger, I think. No, I don't think I can make it bigger. So here we go. So Monday was make our nebulous dreams all yours. So that was a 1 word per letter thing. You see, if you go down, MONDAY. Sorry, it's so small. It's terrible. I'll try and make it bigger. So what do you think of that? That's one way of doing it. What would you do for Monday? Why don't you write something of 1 word per letter for Monday and see what you come up with? So mine was make our nebulous dreams all yours. It's a good challenge. It's a bit like writing a meme. And then do you want to make it clever? Do you want to make it rhyme? Do you want to make it in relation to the person who suggested you do it? There's all these sort of considerations. Some people, they do make, and then they have, they have a whole line for each of the letters, which is okay. Obviously, there's no rules. Well, there could be rules, actually, couldn't there? Like haiku, poems, you're supposed to have those different types, but you might have to have, you can, what do? They do 5 syllables, 7 and 5. So it's da 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 da, da 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 da. It's something like that, isn't it? And within that setting, you're supposed to have some sort of momentous observation of something, often daily life. So that's kind of fun. And this is kind of similar. You've got the day of the week, Monday, let's say. You've got 6 letters. You have to write something with 6 lines, starting with those letters. And I'm going to just put this into a bigger thing so you can see it more easily. That's the theory anyway. Whilst my computer does strange things. Right, so yeah, so what would you do? Would you choose 1 word per day, or would you choose a whole sentence per letter, or what would you do? So I'm going to share the screen of Word, which I've just opened up, which hopefully will make it look bigger. So that's very simple, and simple is often very good. As you can see, it doesn't rhyme, it doesn't do anything. It's literally just 6 words. It is a sentence though, make our nebulous dreams all yours. You might think dreams come true, but no, you haven't got C and you haven't got T, so you've got to do something else. So that was my first effort. I don't know if it was my first effort. I don't think I did them in order. All right, so here is the second. How big is that? That's 20. I'm going to make them all 20. Right, so Tuesday was this. Tuesday's chosen in time, unicorns frozen sublime. Every move she makes, 𝗪𝗫𝗔 awakes, yearnings of learnings in rhyme. Tuesday's chosen in time, unicorns frozen sublime. Nearly made it good, didn't I? Nearly made it good. Tuesday's chosen in time, unicorns frozen sublime. Every move she makes, 𝗪𝗫𝗔 awakes, yearnings of learnings in rhyme. That was obviously a bit more poetic. I didn't stick with 1 word per letter, and I went for rhyming. And I tried to throw in some stuff that might mean something for 𝗪𝗫𝗔, because 𝗪𝗫𝗔 is the lady who suggested the challenge. And then you decide where you want your rhymes, what sort of rhythm you want, if you want to make it deep and meaningful, if you just want it to be nonsense. And you can have nonsense, but I have always leaned on the side of not complete nonsense, obviously, and some sort of reasonable rhyming pattern. I think that's kind of old school, because a lot of people these days, they don't rhyme, but when it doesn't rhyme and it doesn't even seem to scan that much, for me it's kind of frustrating. I admit that standard rhyming schemes and standard perfect rhymes can be a little bit schoolboyish. and that's often what I do, to be honest. But within that, you can still play with words. One of the things I often do is have rhyming words, but they're not necessarily at the end of certain lines. There might be two words that rhyme, but one's in the middle of a word, one's in the middle of a sentence, and the other's at the end. This can be much more satisfying, and I think more sophisticated than a really sort of boring, exactly the same number of syllables per line, exactly rhyming words, every rhyming on line 2 and 4 and 6 and 8. But having said that, it's up to you in the end. Poetry's up to you. If you want rules, then you can decide on a certain type of poetry and follow those rules. But as soon as you're following rules, you've kind of broken into conformity as opposed to broken out into originality. So that's a choice. Wednesday was also one that I decided to dedicate to Despina, because she decided to write me a poem every day, or she has done until Thursday anyway, which was kind of sweet. And I a poem of mine fell out with her name in it on the D. She cleverly chose an activity where there's a D in every single day of the week. So my next one for Wednesday was, when empty days need extra sunshine, Despina answers yes. Really tricky to get something meaningful and cool when it ends on the letters A and Y, I can tell you. You have a go and see what you come up with. So that's what I came up with. And I thought it was kind of sweet as well. When empty days need extra sunshine, Despina answers yes. Thursday was a bit different. That's today. I thought I seem to be carrying on doing it all now. So here is Thursday's. And this one is called 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗢. 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗢. There we are. 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔. No, 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔. And it goes like this. Yesterday is yawning and distant. And it goes like this. 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗢. Yesterday is yawning and distant. Hello? Yesterday is yawning and distancing the pack. Just wondering if my cat is going to knock over my internet box. Yesterday is yawning and distancing the pack, dancing from the dusty dawn to sundown there and back, rising daily with the dew, unwrapping shadowed corn. Hop down dusky hours, tomorrow flees forlorn. Got there in the end. I wonder what happened if I read it backwards. Tomorrow flees forlorn, hop down dusky hours, unwrapping shadowed corn, rising daily with the dew. Sundown there and back, dancing from the dusty dawn to and distancing the pack. Yesterday is yawning. Backwards. So it almost worked backwards, didn't it? But not quite. And as you can see, maybe I decided, I was looking at a whole bunch of these kind of wordplay things. They're called acrostics or something. I don't know. You take the first letter of a word. You take the letter of all the letters of a word and you try and make a poem out of it. And I was looking at all of them and I was thinking, yeah, cool, nice, sweet, okay, whatever, da 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 da. Some people, they literally took the first letter and thought of a word that began with that letter. And then they took the second letter and looked for a word that began with that letter. So they've got this list, for example, Thursday, a list of 8 words. Some of them, they tried to make sentences out of them. Or, a sentence out of the 8 words, or some meaning, some grammatical coherence. Others, they had sentences and each line happened to begin with the letter. But I was just thinking, come on, you can be more creative. You can do what I recommend people do in any situation when they're trying to be creative is not what other people are doing. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this, say hello, please, because I'm all on my own here, all lonely, and I want to read your words. I want to hear your ideas. And I'm talking about a special activity where you take the day of the week and you use each letter to begin a poem with. You see what I mean? So I thought, how can I do something different to what everybody else is doing? And everyone else was doing, like for Thursday, they were doing, okay, Thursday, T, thought of something with T, H, thought of something with H. And I just thought, turn the word around, do it backwards, which is what, if you say the title of this, which is 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗢, if you say that backwards, guess what you get? So I thought, okay, start with it backwards. And I was really happy because not only had no one else done it backwards, it's not a big deal, you know, it's not like I invented something incredible, but no one else had done it. That's the thing, you see. No one else had actually done anything other than taking the words in order. So there you go. Hey, it's Mr. Creative a bit. But what deeper meaning could I tie into my poem or whatever I came up with, which is linked to the fact that I used the letters backwards? Because it's not enough for me to have just done it backwards and then still do a thing that seems to be normal. So I thought the meaning of the poem in the words has to be something about backwards too. I noticed after having reversed the words that Y is the word for yesterday that begins with, and T is tomorrow, is the first letter of tomorrow. And I thought, that's pretty cool. So now I've got the last letter of Thursday, which is a Y, starting as yesterday. The first letter of Thursday, which is a T, is the first letter of tomorrow. I could have done the word the right way around and started with tomorrow and finished with yesterday, which would be funny. But no, I'll start with yesterday, which is logical. I'll finish with tomorrow, which is kind of logical, you know, from past to future. But the word has been turned around. That's kind of cool. And then I thought, you know, what is a day? Well, it begins with the dawn, it finishes with the dusk, the sun does stuff, you know, and all that. So then I played with the words. So I've got a comment. Hello, Sue. Hi, lovely. Hi, lovely you. And she's saying, just popped on. Yeah, well, thanks. Really nice to have you here. And anyone who's watching the replay as well, by the way, you feel free to leave a comment and I will see it. Raya, by the way, says, wow, amazing, love it. We'll try to catch up with you if I will be awake. So I hope you're awake. There's probably some point when you're awake that you can watch this, Raya. I wrote a poem for Raya once, a long, long time ago, and I'm going to be the star of her show. Well, I'm going to be her guest tomorrow, which will be nice. So that was me talking about playing with the first letters of words and trying to be different. I recommend anyone tries to be different in anything that you do if you want to be creative, because if you're doing something that's already been done by someone else, you could argue that that's not creative. For me, the definition of creative is doing something that hasn't been done before in that particular form. Right, so that'll do for that. And let me move on to another thing. I'm going to share my other screen again. I'm going to go back to this. All right, so if you just started watching, it's the Creative Blog and Article Writing Group live show where I talk about words. In other words, I talk about words in other words. There's something funny, isn't there, about talking about words in other words? It's a bit like trying to describe a picture in words, I think, because something written in words is a bit like a picture, word picture, especially something creative. And if you try and talk about it in other words, you've kind of, in a way, you've missed the point, haven't you? But anyway, we do it. I wanted now to look at my latest writings. By the way, in the Creative Blog and Article Writing Group, I give you a prompt, okay, every day. And although the group is small, so we haven't really got too many members yet, the idea is that you leave some writing underneath each day's prompt. So, for example, here's a picture, which was a prompt from a couple of days ago, and it's a little girl in a train. It's an artistic photo of mine, and I give you a few words from the text I wrote with it. This one happens to be, from purple gloves lingering in pockets to years long lost, rotting in boxes, old loves of mine fingering letters, hoaxes and feints slotting in visits. So that's a snippet of the text that I wrote to go with this. And the idea is that you write something either inspired by the photograph, inspired by the words, or you just contribute some new words of your own. Okay, I don't mind. So on any given day, you can do that. And then the next day, I give you the text that went with the image. So that's the idea. All right, so do feel free to contribute your words to any of those prompts that you can see there. I wanted to show you some of my latest writing, as I do, Okay, so this is a combination of my stuff to inspire you and hopefully your stuff to inspire us. And this one was from today. So this was the picture. And this, I don't know if you know this, it's the I Love You wall in Paris. And it's a wall that is covered in I love you written on it in many different languages, maybe 150 languages. It's really cool. It's much bigger than what you can see here. Now, a street artist that I know, I interviewed him once, who did the, I think it's Rita Hayworth or someone like that. He did this and he stuck it on the wall. It's interesting because you can see next to her is an image where another picture of his used to be, and it fell off. And he replaced it, and it looks like he replaced it with another one, because this one on the right used to be, and I think it was another film star of the 40s or something, leaning on a table, and it's gone. And this is Rita Hayworth has gone. I'm not quite sure who it was. The text says, "Aimer, c'est du désordre, alors aimons." That means to love is chaos. Let's love. So let's love, and that's kind of cool. It's especially seeing as it says "I love you" about 150 times in different languages. This is a great one to take photographs of. I was inspired by this, in part thanks to all of these lovely poems that are being written in 𝗔𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗍 group this week, and I came up with this. Let's love. Love is absolutely nuts. Let's love. Opal blue dress fitting like a glove. Vexing hidden hearts, a dopey dove. Ever try, you can't deny the calling from above. And 𝗕𝗪𝗏 was writing poems. She's written one every day, including me in it, basically saying that she appreciates my stuff in a loving way. And that is so touching. And I was feeling very lovey-dovey, actually, and ended up with this coming out. I'll read it again. Let's love, which comes from alors aimons, which means, basically it means let's love, or so let's love. Love is absolutely nuts. Let's love. Opal blue dress fitting like a glove. Vexing hidden hearts, a dopey dove. Ever try, you can't deny the calling from above. And there's a couple of hints in there. One is a super duper cliche, fitting like a glove. Opal blue dress isn't such a cliche. When I cliches come to mind, like fitting like a glove, obviously, well, no, not obviously, some people will put them in their poems or writing and think that it's cool. And they might, for all I know, they might even think that it's original. Obviously, it's not. But I went with the word love, and I decided to rhyme 4 lines. And when you're talking about something like love, you ain't gonna get too many original rhymes to go with love, that have not been used before. So basically, you've just got to go with it. And you could try to get weird and wonderful rhymes, twisted sort of things, or you could go for the classic words that rhyme. I mean, love and dove, hello, I think it's been used before. But that doesn't mean you can't write something which isn't okay or nice or sweet, especially if it's wrapped in a context which is yours. So this is very much mine, I think. The picture is mine. The series is mine. I'm on number 955, so it's not as though I started yesterday. I've put it nicely fitting onto the bit of the wall which is covered in I love you. All right, so there's that. Plus, it's in the context of me being sent poems about love. So in a way, it actually does, I feel happy with it, even though fitting like a glove is a horrendous cliche. And love, glove, dove, above are, it's not that they don't rhyme. Of course they rhyme, but I use them. I wrote a poem with 4 rhymes for love. And I can't help but feel uneasy about it. And when I say that, I want you to think what you think. What do you think? If you're writing a poem and you're choosing words that rhyme, do you want them to be perfect rhymes? Do you want them to not necessarily be all at the end of the lines? Maybe a rhyme at the end and a rhyme in the middle of a line? Do you avoid rhyming like the plague? What about the number of syllables? Does that matter to you? It's interesting stuff. I've got 𝗕𝗪𝗏. Hi, 𝗕𝗪𝗏. just been talking about you, saying that this was inspired very much by the poems that you sent me, that you posted for me, along with the wall, the I Love You wall in Paris, and the rest of it. So I don't know if you just missed this. I'll read it again. Let's love. Love is absolutely nuts. Let's love. Opal blue dress fitting like a glove. Vexing hidden hearts, a dopey dove. Ever try, you can't deny the calling from above. So you can look at the video again to hear me talking about the cliches like fitting like a glove and stuff, you know. But I put myself in there. Vexing hidden hearts. One of my friends started a group called the Hidden Hearts that you find around anywhere, you know, in the garden, in the sky. And she did that in part having been inspired by my photography course. A dopey dove. I have this kind of theory that birds follow me around just trying to get into my photographs of Paris, because very often there are birds in my photographs. I don't know where they come from, but so, you know, a dopey dove, and I'm surrounded by birds and stuff. So that's kind of personal. It's not just, oh, I'm going to rhyme dove with love. I'm actually kind of a bird guy. I had a couple of doves nesting outside my window, having 2 young, which eventually flew off. So, you know, it's not that I just sort of dumbly look for dumb rhymes. They have to have something personal. And ever try, you can't deny the calling from above. You'll notice that that doesn't scan. It's not it's a bit longer than the other lines, you see. And I've even given the words from above their own line. Because if you just stick with what's normal, you've got a normal poem. And normal is not cool. Normal is not, you know, who wants normal? So yeah, it rhymes, but there's an extra couple of syllables, you see. I'll do it like this. Love is absolutely nuts, let's love. So it's da 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 da. No, it's vexing hearts, vexing hidden heart. Yeah, vexing da 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 da. See? So it's da 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 da. Da 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 da. So if I hadn't thrown in that extra couple of syllables at the end, it would have been much more boring, less original, and I couldn't have fitted in anything else. So there you go. That was just my little take on that. This is me trying to show you my process of how not to be boring. Obviously, I don't know if I succeed. By the way, do you notice anything else about this poem? Stop the video here, folks, and tell me what else there is that's actually a little bit fun about this poem. Seriously, stop it now. So, love, opal, vexing, ever. It's the, that spells love, you know, L-O-V-E. And that came from Despina's challenge, again, of the take a day of the week and use the first letter. So you see, it's all kind of in there, isn't it? It's all kind of in there. And also, one more thing, ever try, you can't deny the calling from above. This is on a wall. And the wall is high. So that woman on the wall and her speech bubble is way above our heads. You take a picture of someone next to this wall and their head is way down in that bottom right-hand corner. So it's kind of a call from above to love. So there's that. So, Despina says, I think if I start with rhymes, it feels more restrictive and my brain gets fried more easily. Yeah, well, watch the beginning of this video as well, because I really talked a lot about that, and you might get something from it. And thank you, Despina. You know, Despina, you inspired me, because today's When Lady Eiffel Smiles is the first one where I decided to have a friend of the day, and you're it. So there it is, you see, it says, friend of the day. Today's When Lady Eiffel Smiles is dedicated to Despina simply because she's one of the sweetest people I know. And why did it take me 900, what number is this? Why did it take me 955 Paris Photo Chronicles to think of having a friend of the day in them? Well, I don't know. It could have occurred to me on the first day, or it might not have occurred to me ever. It happened to occur to me now. And how nice to feature someone every day saying that you're a friend that I appreciate. This came to me. This idea came to me because someone I was in a mastermind with this morning. We had the mastermind. We talked about a project with a bunch of people, and then we said bye-bye. This person later on that day, this day, sent me a personal message spoken through Messenger, not written, saying that she was pleased I was on the call, and one thing she appreciated about me was blah, blah, blah. She may or may not be wanting me to become a customer of hers in the future, but she's sweet and she didn't try to sell me anything. And if she had, I would have been very sad because I hate that. But she didn't. She simply said she appreciated me being there and said something nice about me, and said that she wanted to connect and ask me something about how I thought the mastermind went. That's so nice. And that made me think, how sweet. That made me think, friend of the day. You see how it all comes together. It's incredible. All right, so Despina is saying Nat King Cole, 𝗪𝗏. I don't know that. Is it a song? I'll check it out. Thank you. And let me have another look at a few more of these. Oh, by the way, this is happening tomorrow. It's me as a guest on Raya's show, and I'll be, she seems to think that explosive creativity is going to happen. Yeah, okay, well, maybe it will, maybe it won't, I don't know. And by the way, I just interviewed someone called Nina on my Infinite Chat show, so check that out. It's an hour of us talking about creativity. She's the guest, I'm the interviewer. And so it goes on. So let me show you my Paris Photo Chronicles. Here they are. This is, I don't have the, so this is what the photographs look like. Yeah, it's a song, says Despina. A song called LOVE. Nat King Cole. I remember one I really like by him. I think it's called Nature Boy, if you know Nature Boy. Very beautiful song. You might know that I have a series, an ongoing series, which is my music, which has affected me. Music is one thing I don't produce at the moment, although I'm trying to change that. But I started this series called Magical Musical Mystery Tour. And the aim of this is for me to share my music with you, the music I love. And, because I don't think I should be the only one who appreciates it. I'm trying to find it now. So I'm up to number 20 or 21 at the moment. And it looks something like, this isn't very exciting, is it? Good grief. There we go. So there's an example. I put a video from YouTube of a song I love that means something to me, a lot to me, and I give a little explanation of it. It's another way of me trying to share my stuff. I consider even other people's songs my stuff, because when you create something, what is it until you've shared it? So there you go. Right, zooming back somewhere. I've been writing memes recently. Will your crazy creations elevate nations, reaching heights sublime? Give them time. Be patient on yourself. I'm not wondering if, I think maybe I talked about that last week. I wanted to go into my writing from this week. This one, actually, I'll share my latest on my blog, first of all. So the one before that was this one. So here's a strange thing which could stimulate you. I don't know if you see this, but there are 3 people and they've all got blue masks on. They're all standing quite a way away. And those who seem to be quite close have got a transparent panel in between them. So I thought, that's fodder for my pen. So I came up with, the scheme's worked. The mindless sheep have swallowed the virus hoax, hook, line and sinker, no thinker. Subversive face-to-face contact has been shut down entirely. Life of Riley. All communication from now on is done through smartphone apps. Ours, of course. Hapless chaps and chapesses can smile all they want, but in vain. We know who you'll date, and your preferences are being tweaked and twisted as I speak. Eek! The watch on your wrist tells much more than the time. We know where you've been, what you do, how you feel. You plan your next meal, it's not real. We're watching you inside and out. If you're feeling down, we'll pep you up with a cat vid or some luckless pup. But if you're feeling uppity, don't worry, there's a killer app for that too. It knows that you know what to do. We'll see you through. In that, I had a kind of big brother kind of feel. And this was brought on by the conspiracy theory people who think that, the masks and stuff, there isn't a virus. The more extreme ones believe that there isn't actually a virus. Never mind about the coming on for 1 million people who have died from it, if it's true. And they believe that masks, some of the theories are that masks are, I don't know, because I would have thought that conspiracy theorists would love the masks because they allow them to hide their face and, not be spied on so much by the cameras that are watching us. But apparently that isn't part of their thing. The masks are actually to subdue us and keep us apart. So I was kind of playing on this conspiracy theory type of thing. Now, the thing with writing an article like that is, at what point do you let the reader in that it's a joke? If you go all the way, you've almost got to go all the way and make it seem like it's true. You believe what you say. So say, for example, I believe the conspiracy theories. I should write this as though I believe them and it's true. But if I don't, do I let the reader know that I'm joking or it's tongue in cheek? Because if I don't, at some point, it won't be kind of funny. So an article like this, where I've taken a stance which is actually kind of making fun of conspiracy theorists. The reader and I both have to be in on the joke. Otherwise, it's not funny. It's just some other nutter talking about conspiracy theories. That's from the point of view of someone who doesn't believe them. So that's what I try to do. So how do I let them know that I am on the side of the I don't think this is a conspiracy. It's kind of subtle, it's through hints. It's through the storytelling. It's through the mindless sheep have swallowed the virus hoax, hook, line, and sinker, no thinker. For a start, people know me. They know that they have to look for a deeper meaning. And then the way it's worded, they should get the idea that pretty quickly that this isn't what he really thinks. And then hopefully they sit down and enjoy the ride and see how I try to play with words and try to mock, gently or not gently, those who I feel deserve mocking. You might say that mocking people isn't nice. Well, I don't know. Maybe writing, producing films about people who get murdered and you show it graphically. Maybe that's not nice. Maybe that's not actually very pleasant. We sit down in the evenings and relax to our favorite American show, which, for example, is about children getting sexually abused. I think that's not very nice. So if people say I shouldn't be mocking people that I believe deserve some mocking in gentle text like this, we may have got a little bit twisted here. All right, so that's that. And Despina says, lovely, I missed that one, wonderful text. I don't know if you mean this one or the other one, but check my feed, they're all there. So let me chug down the very same feed. Yeah, so this is the one before the last one. I think John Lennon said that somewhere in Beatles Live at the Hollywood Bowl. This is from the album before the last one, something like that, when he was talking about a song from A Hard Day's Night, not from Help. So cool. If you listen to the Beatles on Spotify or something, I think even on YouTube, all the Beatles songs are now available. It's amazing. So this is a little girl, and she's holding a red and white flag. Sorry, she's holding red and green, either a red and green flag or red flags and green flags. And this inspired the girl with the red and green flags. Where does the time go? From purple gloves lingering in pockets to years long lost, rotting in boxes, old loves of mine, fingering letters, hoaxes and feints, slotting in visits. Tween tantrums and fixes, she sure deserved better. That I bring her creamed spinach, storytime wish, holding hands in the darkness, poor tainted dove, loathes my seed when she needed me, echoing lockets. So that was actually inspired by this little girl on a train who I have no idea who she is. And she was coming home, I think, from some sort of demonstration, like a union demonstration that she'd been at with her parents. So these were sort of union flags. And the red and green flags made me think of stop and go, red and green, like traffic lights. And then I'd been kind of feeling sad about the fact that I'm not in touch with my daughter, who is 20 something and she's got a kid, and I'm really not in touch with her. We had a breakdown in the teenage years. We weren't together, and she has never got over it. And I'm kind of sticking with it. I have no excuses to make that I wasn't there, but it's incredibly difficult to get back in touch. And every now and then I feel the need to get that out somehow. And this was it. This was the latest need to get that out somehow. And I called it the girl with green and red flags, because she's kind of stop and go. It's like sometimes she puts out a sign that I love you, Dad. And then the next thing it'll be I do something which bugs her, and bam, like she's embarrassed that she came from my seed. That actually came from something wrote to me in a email. And then the one after might have been I love you, Dad. So it's like hot and cold, stop and go. So there you go. The Purple Gloves is a reference to a poem I wrote many years ago when I used to go over to Britain to see her when she was a tiny little girl. And one time she asked me to hold her purple gloves as she was playing on the swing and the slides. And she forgot to take them back. And I went back to France and I discovered them in my pocket. And that led to a poem called Gloves in My Pocket, I think it was. So there's these little hints to the past and stuff. It wasn't desperately trying to rhyme each line and stuff. I've kind of got over that, although I want to put rhymes in there. I want it to be interesting. For me, a poem, I want there to be wordplay in there. If it's just sort of random prose, that's not my thing. So I play with words. It's just such a joy to play with words. And, in the back of my mind, I kind of hope this might reach her. But maybe I shouldn't be writing poems. Maybe I should be going over there and being present, even though I might get rejected. So you see, this is what words bring out. They bring out deep and meaningful stuff, and sometimes crap, but sometimes heavy stuff as well. So it's a bit of sort of catharsis, to be honest. Your daughter might be listening right now. You never know. I never know. Maybe I should send her. I might send her this, you never know. It might get rejected. It might not. She might not say anything, but it might touch her. She might think, that's well and good, but that doesn't change anything. I don't want words. I want your presence. This is the kind of thing that I guess everyone lives with. You can't do everything perfectly in life. And this is my way of dealing with something. I don't know what. And this is art as well, isn't it? It's sort of bittersweet, and it's a two-sided blade. Because the fact that there's sad stuff in my life inspires me to create stuff. I don't know about you. You can let me know what you think. But can you create something which you feel is incredibly inspired and deep and meaningful just because the sun is shining? Because I can't. I want it. Rain will inspire me. Sun doesn't inspire me. Death inspires me more than life. Unhappiness inspires me more than happiness. But that doesn't mean there won't be elements of happiness in my stuff. But just happiness, sun is shining, living is sweet, yeah. That's fair enough, Mr. Blue Sky. There was rain before Mr. Blue Sky, remember? What's that thing about happy something or other? Unbelievably irritating song. You might like it. It's one of those feel-good songs, but I feel good with miserable songs, to be honest. I feel good when a song grabs me by the throat and chokes me. That's when I feel good. I'll give you an example of that. Like, for example, Leonard Cohen's 1,000 Kisses Deep. You know, I play that. I can hardly say the words of the song without feeling a little bit choked, because it's linked to one particular person that was in importance in my life for a period of time. It's, you know, that's it. That's what a song is. That's what a text is. It's not just the words. It's what those words represent. It's everything. You know, these words here wouldn't be meaningless if that little girl and the red and green stop go flags hadn't reminded me of my relationship with my daughter. What's the point? Art is about expressing emotions, letting them out, even when they hurt, especially when they hurt. And there can be good there as well, you know. You can't experience happiness if you can't experience sadness, can you? Otherwise, it would all be, you know, vanilla flavored life. That's not it. Darkness is definitely more inspiring. Yes, for some it is. For some it is. Not for everyone, but for me it is, and for you it is. Despina, I think. I always refer to Paris, my muse, that I've been here 25 years. I refer to it as the city of light and darkness, not the city of light, which is its kind of nickname, the city of light. For me, it's not. It's the city of light and darkness. And that's why half of my photographs might be famous monuments, but the other half might be dark corners. Happy together. So there's that. What else? You know, I tried to get my Paris Photo Chronicles back to just simple stories about Paris, but hasn't quite happened yet. Here's another meme. Inspiration comes from creating, not waiting till it's too late to be great. I slammed out a couple of memes recently. Could you do that? Could you write a meme right now? A meme. Take a picture of yours and put words of yours on top of it on a topic and make it rhyme. There you go. 2 lines, they rhyme. There's something fun in there, something giving a message, possibly funny, possibly a little bit of wordplay, and see what happens. Give it a go, and then post it in the Infinite Creativity Now group, which is where you can post anything creative at all. Or you can post it in the Creative Blog and Article group. Let me show you my newsletter. This is my newsletter, and it's the one that is in progress now. Theoretically, I should have written it this morning before the things it's advertising, because at the bottom of it, it says there's a Facebook Live with Nina Lockwood. It's gone. It also says there's a Facebook Live creative blog and article writing. This is it, and I haven't sent the newsletter. Is this a bad thing? Well, I don't know. I'm still going to send it like that, because to be honest, time is kind of a concept, man. Are you sure that this is happening before what happened this morning, or after what happened this morning, or not? Because it's not so sure. You might think, obviously, this afternoon happened after this morning. I'm not so sure, which is why I'm going to send this email, which theoretically should have been sent this morning, talking about stuff I'm doing this afternoon. I'm going to send it after the stuff I'm doing this afternoon. Then I'm going to send the email letter. You might think, what the hell am I talking about? Well, look at it this way. If you watch a film, you generally think that something that happens at the end of the film is because of something that happened in the middle of the film or the beginning of the film. You see it as a consequence. But if you think about it, the film is just a piece of, maybe it's digital these days, but whatever. Let's imagine it's a bit of film strip. And they put, splicing, they decide to put this frame, then I'll put this frame, then this one, then this one. Some of those frames will be more or less the same thing to make it look like movement. It's still, the people aren't moving on the screen. It just looks like they're moving. They're still shots after still shot after still shot. And then the next frame might be of a completely different scene. So it looks like the scene has changed. And then there'll be a few of those that only change a tiny bit to make it look like the person's moving and so on. But it's just been put together that way. So the things that happen at the end of the film aren't really because of the things that happened before. It's just that they put those frames in that part of the whole film, you see. They could have put them the other way around. It would be just the same bits of frame, but just in a different order. So I'm not at all convinced that what happens this afternoon is the consequence of what came this morning. When I was about, oh my God, like 40 years ago, 15 years old or something, and I was getting into I was reading popular science books, and I read something about Einstein. That was cool. But then I read about quantum mechanics, and that was even cooler, because Schrödinger's cat, you put a cat in a box. I've got a cat somewhere. Maybe I should try it. Maybe not. You put it in a box, a sealed box, and there's a poisonous thing in there. And there's a 50% chance that the cat will die because of the poisonous stuff. And you don't know until you open the box whether the cat's died or not. And what they say is that you would think that, the box is sealed. You have no idea whether it's eaten the poisoned food or not. There's a 50% chance that it has or not. And you would think that either the cat's lying dead inside the sealed box or it's still alive. Quantum mechanics theory, or whatever it is, I'm not keeping up to date with it, but I remember it being that until you open the box and have a look, the cat is not dead or alive. It's hovering. It's a potential. It's potentially dead or alive, but it's literally not dead or alive. It's literally not. It's not dead and it's not alive until you open the box and you make it so. And that's pretty mind-blowing. I remember like 40 years ago getting into that. And things like parallel universes, we just happen to be living, almost manifesting our reality just by kind of the next instant happening. And that's what reality is now. And somebody else's is somebody else's. And mine could be an infinite number of other realities if I'd done this instead of this. That's pretty cool. Maybe I should be showing you more of me. So you don't know what's going on, and you don't really, and our lives are a bit like that film, I think. You can't say what time is. Time, it seems to be a bunch of instants, one after another, and yet you can't really put your finger on it. You can't really put your finger on, I'm going to say, this is now. Oops, now it's the past. It's impossible to do. It's very difficult to believe that the past really exists as anything other than past, present moments. Where is the past? Show me it. Show me the past. Show me it now. No, this is the present. Show me the future. Show me it now. Well, tomorrow I'm going to the cinema. Yeah, but that's you in the present talking about some imagined event. You're imagining in the present. You think about the past. Why I'm going on about this is because this counts in writing. If you've got a deeper kind of view on stuff, it enriches your writing. Even if you don't write about it, you can still play with it. How do you make people think if you haven't thought about stuff? So you show me the past and I might believe that it exists. You show me a photograph of your grandmother or your great-grandmother or your cat that has passed on. You're still showing me a photograph in the present. Where's the cat? You go and look for the bones in the garden, it'll be the bones in the present, not in the past. You can't show someone the past. You can't show someone the future. So I don't think it exists. So this present moment is I'm kind of randomly pretending that this moment came after something this morning. I'm kind of randomly believing that I'm going to send my newsletter after I've done these live events, which I'm advertising in the newsletter. But I'm not sure that's the case. Now there's present recordings now of this. The recordings now exist. So you get the newsletter, you can click, you'll go to the recordings. What happened? Where are we? Past, present, future? I don't know. We're just in the never-ending present, which is kind of cool. Like 15, I'm thinking about this deep and meaningful stuff. What happens? You realize you've got to go to university. You've got to, apparently I've got to study for some degree. Oh, apparently now I have to get my hair cut to get a job. Oh, now apparently I have to wear the right tie so that people think I'm a good professional worker, etc., etc. What happened to infinite possibilities? Where did they go? You got to get on the damn train again every morning to go to that stupid job. Iron your shirts. be nice to the boss. What happened to infinite possibilities? And then sometime later, you think, you know what? I want some more of those infinite possibilities I used to read about when I was 15. And then you end up being someone like me. So yeah, so that's it. You know, dig around. I think writers need to be deep and meaningful, even if it's, you know, half the time you think it's bollocks, you know, bullshit, and half the time you think it's the most amazing thing ever. But at least you're thinking more than just going to work and coming home and thinking, is that it? You talking is me like watching the Matrix movie. I got lost. Where's the cat? The cat, the real cat. Oh, where are you? You know, I don't know if you caught the beginning of this show, but there was a huge crash at one point and then a blur of fur. The crash is in the kitchen. I'm kind of not wanting to go into the kitchen to see what the crash was. Then the blur of fur. Vroom. Well, I think the two events. The cat seemed to be alive when she came storming through here just after the crash. Theoretically, the blur of fur kitten slamming past me from the kitchen to the room over there was a consequence of the crash. But having said what I said, maybe the crash was a consequence of the kitten running through. I don't know. If the kitten comes, the kitten is in the video, by the way, if you want to go earlier. Instead of The Matrix, I'm watching Inception. Dreams within dreams within dreams. Yeah. Do you know that song by Propaganda? It's in it, they quote, I can't remember who it was, they quote some poet, was it Blake or someone, saying, all that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. And there's this really cool track by Propaganda, which is basically the poem, I think. But all that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. You know, we think we find some new, cool way of looking at life. And we buy the books and we do a course on it and we decide we're going to become a practitioner in it, and, you know, we get the certificate. It ain't new. It's all been seen before. It might be by religions have got snippets of it. It might be philosophies. It might be, you know, mystics. Nothing, any of these latest ways of looking at life are new, as far as I can see. Other people have been saying similar things for ages. And it basically comes down to, you find someone you like, go with them. Like, for example, one of my favorites is Alan Watts. I love listening to Alan Watts. And, but his stuff isn't, I like his way he presents it, but it's not original. He talks about Buddhism and Eastern traditions. And then you've got so-called mystics from today or from the 70s and stuff, like a bit like Alan Watts, but he wasn't so much a mystic. He was just trying to explain the way a lot of these deeper non-religious based philosophies see the world, trying to help us. And they were just fantastic. I just could listen to him for ages. So he's my favorite. There's a bunch of other people I like as well, coming at it from all different angles. And but it's still the same stuff. If there's a reality, there's a reality. You know, if there's a fundamental thing, which we can never know because we're in it, we can't see outside it. If there's a fundamental thing, then there's a fundamental thing. And it's not that one human is magically seen outside the thing. I think the basic fundamental truth or way of looking at stuff is we're never going to know. So we could spend our lives trying to know what it's all about, but we could never look outside what's made us, as it were. We can never look outside what we're a part of. It's impossible. So it's kind of futile. We can make up stuff about what everything is, what infinity is, what the universe is, what you are, what I am, what my eyes are, what I am. We can make stuff up about it, but that ain't it. That ain't it, you know? I think the closest you get is when people say we are the awareness or we are consciousness. That's what we are. We are what is observing stuff. We're not the stuff we observe, including our egos, including our thoughts and stuff. We're not that. We're the thing that experiences the thoughts. You know, take any, all and every way of looking at life, the universe and everything you can possibly find, and it comes back to that as far as I can see. We are some sort of part of the ultimate awareness. And God knows what that means. And if you want to spend your life trying to understand it, if you like doing that, if that amuses you, then that's probably good. You'll lead a good life if you enjoy that. But if there's a hint of frustration there, then you're probably better off doing something else. And you know, I like the fact that a lot of these people who they lead their life, day-to-day life, they get frustrated. They go on a huge search of discovery, sometimes outside themselves around the world, looking for gurus, sometimes inside themselves. And they all seem to come back to the same thing. In the end, you end up realizing that you've just got to get on with your life on a day-to-day basis, doing day-to-day humdrum things, but enjoying it, not looking anymore. So that's kind of ironic, isn't it? But I think we as humans seem to need to feel that something's missing before we can come back and realize that it's not. You know, you can't, I think it's very rare that someone, having been sort of polluted or gone through the experience of becoming a human with all the sort of labels and stuff and the obligations, once you've gone through that sort of indoctrination into the human race, what being a good member of society is, losing what you were as a baby, losing that, it's being papered over. It's papered, we get the true us as a baby, which isn't separated, doesn't realize that isn't part of it. It's too late. We lose it before we know we've got it. And some of us lead our lives playing the role that has been imposed upon us. And some of us realize that there's something wrong and we try to work out what that is. And we often end up coming back to thinking, shit, the baby was me. That's what I am, the baby, which didn't even realize it was separate from everything else. I'm not saying if you're lucky, because it's not for me to say what's right for you or what the right thing is. It's all made up, isn't it? But it seems quite good if you can actually come back. There doesn't seem to be anything else out there, which is going to make me hugely happy. What seems to be making me happy is realizing that there isn't anything out there and that it's about human connection. Human connection, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe it's about realizing that we're all part of the same big family. And if you want, you could say we're all one. And that we're not missing stuff, and that enjoying your life, including brushing your teeth or going out into the fields and looking at flowers and, you know, painting and whatever, is where happiness is. You know, it's here and now. It's not yesterday. It's not tomorrow. I talked about that earlier. This is more like stuff I might talk about on the creativity, infinite creativity satsang on Sunday. But you know, whatever comes. So I'm probably going to stop there because it's rambling. 1 hour. I can't wait to be in your writing course. Oh, well, that's great. Except that I've kind of pushed it back to next autumn. I don't know if I can make it earlier than that now. But yeah, so I'm thinking of doing the smartphone photography masterclasses starting in September again. January, I'm thinking of the creativity course. After that, spring, summer, I'm thinking of the next run of the smartphone photography course. Then I'm thinking of the first run of the writing course. See how it goes. So maybe I should just give you 1 or 2 more bits of writing before I say bye-bye. Give your thing, Vespina, with the days of the week is fantastic. Here's another one I slammed out, and I realized I needed it. How quickly can you slam out a meme? This one took a few minutes. Comparisons, the creativity killer. One person's gold leaf, another's polyfiller. Drop your dreams of drab society pillar. Grab your gear and free your inner thriller. It is what it is. That was quite fun. I like this one. This is about nails. This is about amazing nail. I think I showed this on another shot. The one where I think it was in the photography show where I showed this. Talked about the nails and stuff. But the text that goes with it, because it's about text here. This isn't necessarily particularly poetic, but maybe it's about this This show is supposed to be about articles as well, writing a good solid article. And every single day I write a text, every single day. That's a discipline. And that is how you get better. And it's very simple. You know, this text is maybe 100 or 80 words. How do you make it hang together? How do I dream up stuff day after day? How do I make it hang together? How do I feel happy with it? It is what it is. You know, I never claim that it's anything other than what it is. For example, you might look at it and love it, or you might look at it and hate it. And you're right. You're right. So, first of all, write for yourself. And if some people like it, great, they will. And if some people don't like it, well, that's great too, because it means at least they're alive to not like it, you know. If they have no, the only time I might use the word failure at all, in kind of inverted commas, is if my stuff doesn't touch anyone in any way. But that's fine as well, you know. So this, I don't think this has anything particularly clever going for it. It's not a poem or anything, but it's an article. So it's supposed to theoretically hang together. Let's see if it does. One of my latest ideas has become reality: to incorporate slivers of the old Paris ring railway into my paintings in the form of splinters from its poor disintegrating sleepers. The sleepers are the pieces of wood that go across under the lines. Thanks to Train Mad's son, another recent fancy has also come true: to have my very own nail from same defunct structure. I believe Leo's find is or was similar to these nails, marked with a 3. They actually go several inches down and are impossible to extract when still in good condition. My prize, though, is gloriously rusted and eroded to hell. It's a bygone beauty. I've got it somewhere. One day, I'll paint and present it in a perturbing self-portrait, reliving past glory. But for now, I'll let sleeping logs die. Sleeping logs die, in case you don't know, is a reference to the expression "to let sleeping dogs lie," which means if you see a dog sleeping, it's probably best not to wake it up, just in case it tears your throat out, like some of those poems do. And you know, some people will get that and some people won't. Some people might think it's really clever, and other people might not think it's clever, and other people won't know that it's a thing. They won't know that there's an expression "to let sleeping dogs lie." And to let sleeping logs die is because the railway is now defunct. The logs are like the sleepers, and they're dying because they're disintegrating. And these are, and this is part of them. You see, this is part of the sleeper, and it's in slivers. And I'm going to break those slivers up like that. Here comes the cat. And I'm going to put them in my paintings, my infinity squared paintings. How cool is that? This is the nail. Look. Oh, that is so cool. That was one of those. That was one of those. Unbelievable. Look at it. Oh, there's no 3 on there. That's long gone. This round bit here, you can see in the picture. It ain't round. And it's so eroded. Look, it even goes down to a tiny little thin bit. Then it goes fatter again. It's just unbelievable. It's so amazing. I'm very, very happy with this. And I've written about it. You know, live life, go places, see new things, and you've got new stuff to write about. And there it is. So I'm not going to go any further, even though there is other stuff. There is other writing, of course. Enough's enough, right? And I'll just finish by looking at... What is the matter? Come here, come and say hello. I've got a cat, folks. Okay, here's the little cat. She can explore my computer a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. So this is my little cat. She's not mine. I'm cat sitting. Who's that? Can you see? Who's that? Who's that there? Who's that there? Look. What's that? What's that? What's that? So she likes to walk on my computer, sit on my computer, hit keys on my computer, which sometimes have interesting results, like deleting things or opening strange windows. So she's cute. She's sweet. Kitten sitting. All right. So I'll say bye-bye. Bye-bye. you can see that the sofa is covered up in anti-kitten claw stuff. So I'll just finish with Despina's comments and say bye-bye. All right, so she's saying she got lost in the Matrix movie. Is she watching Matrix or Inception? I can't wait to be on your writing course. To me, it's only comparison, my ass. To me, it's only comparison, my ass. I can't remember what you were talking about. She's grown. She has grown, actually. Yeah, in 2 weeks, she's grown, more or less. Yeah, so I'll just finish with the next things you can do with me. So get on my newsletter, please. You need to go to this page, and going on my newsletter is, which I was telling you about earlier, is a wonderful thing to do, because I send you creative hints every single day, or most days. And the newsletter looks a little bit like this. It's got 3 parts. The first part is a little bit of creativity, a hint or a tip on creativity, which I also put in my Infinite Creativity Now group, which you can talk about. They're beautifully linked. The second part is a bit of my creativity, such as these 2 pictures, which was my thing today. It's not always my pictures, sometimes it's other things, and a call to action, asking you to do something and to post it in the Infinite Creativity group. You see, it's a call to action, beautiful thing. Because if you don't take action, nothing happens. Then the last thing is the next things you can do with me. And in the smartphone photography group, there's a 5-day challenge coming up beginning of September. And then there's my smartphone photography class coming up again at the end of September. But get on my mailing list. This is what I want you to do. Get on my mailing list. And then we can be friends, and I can send you stuff every day. And you need to go to infinitecreativitynow.com/newsletter. One more time, infinitecreativitynow.com/newsletter. And you get my newsletter, and you get 9 ninja tips. Oh, you can't even see what I'm saying. And you get 9 ninja tips, which are fun tips on being more creative. That's it. I'm saying bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the replay. You watch the replay, leave me comments. I will get back to you. And have a great time. And I will see you again, possibly on Sunday, or possibly tomorrow when I do a live with Raya. There you go. Thanks a lot. It's been fun talking about words and other stuff. And talk to you again soon. Bye for now.